Good afternoon and welcome to Quays News. I'm Mikołaj Maćkowiak.
And I'm Sydney Shaw. Here's what's coming up on the show today. We take a look into why fly tipping is at its peak.
Primark has come up with a new initiative of putting shoplifters in a sticky situation.
And I'll be here to give you all the roundup on yesterday's varsity action.
Our beautiful landscapes are often spoiled by the sad action of littering. New data shows Salford is one of the worst places in the UK for fly tipping and littering.
But what is being done about it and what change needs to happen? Our reporter Max Hayes has our top story tonight.
It's an award that no city wants. Record numbers of fly tipping and littering across Salford. With picturesque trees and lovely grass banks, this should be one of Salford's beautiful spots. But just look at how it's been left.
The litter in Salford is definitely getting worse. Over the last 2 to 3 years, it's getting worse, and the fly tipping is definitely getting worse. We see lots of fly tipping all over, from fridges just to household waste.
Beer cans, car parts, and even knives. We spent the day filming with all Salford litter heroes and the Clean Up the Quays campaign, who told me the problem is getting bigger and bigger. Andy, just tell us what you're doing now then.
Well, I'm picking up after whoever feels it's correct to just use this area as a dumping ground. It's supposed to be owned by the council, but that's not really the point, is it? At the end of the day, we should all take care of our own household waste, which this is clearly what that is. So I can't walk past this without taking action. So that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm doing it.
According to new data, Salford is one of the worst areas in the UK. Nearly 7,000 fly tipping incidents recorded, the highest since records began. What looks like one piece of litter then ends up becoming piles and piles. Then fly tipping, as Salford is one of the worst areas here in the UK for littering and for fly tipping. It's a huge problem facing the city, and groups like All Salford Litter Heroes and initiatives such as Clean Up the Quays will be out on a Sunday morning, wind, rain or snow, picking up litter. But there's only so much they can do, and maybe more needs to be done, as this is a huge problem facing the city. Some would argue the biggest problem in a long time.
Essentially, I can't preach something in, say, my campaigns and my literature, not lead from the front. You know, people do it for political gain, but with no actual bite to what they're saying. So we're trying to lead from the front. We don't just do it the week before the election. We're out all year round, wind, sleet, snow, rain. We get anywhere between 10, 15, 20 people.
Groups such as Salford Litter Heroes continue the good work, but it poses the question, who else is out there to offer hope for a city filled with litter? Max Hayes, Quays News in Salford.
As we are coming to the end of Women's History Month, there's one community group in Earlham trying to make a difference.
The Women's Empowerment Group in Earlham meets every Tuesday to show one another they are not alone. I went down to join them at their pamper night to find out more.
Taking a moment for self-care, pamper nights with no fancy brands or expensive products, just homemade items are a way for these women to unwind. Claire Merrill set this group up to ensure no woman feels alone.
Everybody's either, they're working, they're always known by the job title, or they're like a mother, or they're something to other people, they're doing things for other people, but they don't have that time for themselves. I've done it because I know what it's like to be isolated. I suffer with chronic health issues and I don't have much family, so I moved here 6 years ago and didn't really know anyone.
These women find that sisterhood is crucial now more than ever.
I feel like a kid again, away from the hustle and bustle of life, just feel like myself, feel like one day, just remember, relive how it was like for me to be me.
Even even though International Women's Day may be over, this women's empowerment group in Earlham is celebrating women every week, like we are currently doing our Pamper Day. How are you finding it?
It's amazing, it's so relaxing.
Isn't it? According to the Mental Health Foundation, 1 in 5 women have a common mental health problem such as anxiety or depression, and it's groups like these who help tackle this problem.
I think it's really good for our mental health, because people say that men's mental health is really bad, but women's mental health isn't highlighted in the same way, and I think it's good to have that space to be open about your mental health.
Being alone is harder, particularly for immigrant women who leave their family behind.
We are more isolated here, so that's even more important because our family is usually abroad and we don't have that connection in the family. We don't have here sister, aunt, mum, so that's much even important.
They are now on a mission to become a registered group and raise more money to help even more women in their community. Let's raise a glass to that. Mikołaj Maczkowiak, Quays News. It was so amazing to see these women connect with one another, share their experiences at their Pamper Night and join in with them. Sydney, would you join them on a Pamper Night like this?
I think I would definitely join these women on a Pamper Night. I love a good face mask.
Yeah, doing the face mask with them was so fun.
Shoplifting in the UK was up 32% last year from the previous year.
But Primark have introduced a new scheme to try tackle it. Bella Francis has more on this report, and this one is going to stick with you.
In 2023, retail theft cost UK stores about £8 billion. In Primark terms, that's 3,200 million plain t-shirts. But Primark wants you to stop nicking their t-shirts and their makeup and their homeware section and all the other stuff people seem to be sneaking out with. So they've introduced a new scheme. Blue stickers on all bags of sold goods to help security know at the door who has and hasn't paid. The stickers are currently in 18 stores across the UK, including Manchester Primark.
But is this scheme really going to work? I'm going to put it to the test. Right, I'm currently in the Primark changing rooms and I'm going to put this new sticker thing to the test. So here's a bag that I got here from earlier and it has the sticker on it, but I'm going to take the sticker off. And I'm going to try and leave Primark with this bag like this. I'm going to see if anyone questions me, because that's what they're meant to do. So, for your viewing pleasure, I'm going to cut a whole new bottom. I'm going to stick my phone in it, so we're going to get the bag cam. So you guys can witness firsthand whether the bag gets stopped or not. Let's go. Right, so I'm going to try and leave this store now. I've got my bag ready to go. A bit nervous, but I reckon I'm going to make it out of this, but we'll have to see.
Right, well, I've just got out. I walked past multiple staff members with a bag that didn't have a sticker on it. So, to their knowledge, I hadn't paid for anything in the bag. And no one stopped me. On the way out, the security guard actually looked me up and down, looked at my bag, didn't say a word, just let me leave. So overall thought, it's a really good idea for a scheme because shoplifting is a massive issue in Primark especially, but it's not going to work if the staff aren't actually doing what they're meant to be doing and stopping people who don't have the stickers on their bags. It feels like the plastic stickers are a bit of a waste and they're just going to end up in landfill rather than actually having a positive impact on anyone. Well, it seems that these stickers aren't going to stick. Bella Francis, Quays News, Manchester.
Vaping is on the rise in Manchester. Elliot Royce went to investigate this.
Apologies for the technical difficulties.
Yeah, sorry.
Following a 2-year court battle, the iconic Manchester nightclub Night and Day Cafe will stay open.
Darcy Jackson has this report.
It's one of Manchester's favourite nightclubs and after a lengthy court battle will stay open. So I'm stood outside Night and Day Cafe in the Northern Quarter, which faced an uncertain future following a noise complaint in 2021 from a neighbouring flat. Since then, the legal battle has cost around £160,000 and came to a conclusion on Monday. District Judge Margaret McCormack ruled in Manchester Magistrates Court that the noise nuisance was coming from DJ club nights here at Night and Day that run from 11 PM to 3 AM on Friday and Saturday nights. She added that the Northern Quarter is a lively, vibrant area, but its usages are changing, meaning that it's now considered as mixed use. The use of the neighbouring flat was considered common and ordinary, but the running of Night and Day wasn't, meaning the nightclub now has 28 days to implement and follow a set of restrictions. This includes the use of sealed sound limiters which minimise noise levels, which the existing sound system can achieve. A full written judgment is expected to be released to the public in due course. For many years, it's been championing new artists and bands and has seen the likes of Arctic Monkeys, Paolo Nutini and Kasabian all grace the stage. I'm sure it's a massive sigh of relief for the Manchester music scene that Night and Day Cafe will continue to do so for many more years to come. And Manchester-based singer-songwriter Seb Lowe puts it perfectly.
Here's to Night and Day having a long life as the heart of Manchester's new music scene.
Vaping is on the rise in Manchester. Elliot Royce went to investigate this.
Should be banned as well?
Yeah. That spoils the health as well.
I don't think it's necessarily a terrible thing if they're getting banned, because there's a lot of like pollution made from the batteries that are put inside of them. Kids are getting their hands on them, so there are vapes still about, just maybe they don't need the disposable ones.
But people get over themselves. It's just a fad.
Now, so the government's plan was released back in January, so what's new? Scientists at the University College London have recently discovered that vaping can trigger DNA cell changes similar to DNA mutations that take place in cigarette smoker cells, which may go on to cause cancer. But for now, this vaping epidemic doesn't seem to be going anywhere, and we'll just have to wait and see how these implications will impact our day-to-day lives. Elliot Royce, Quays News.
This week has been a jam-packed week full of sports. Varsity took place yesterday, where Salford took the trophy from Chester. Daniel Mercer went to find out more.
The second leg of Varsity took place yesterday, and it was once again a day full of drama, intrigue and emotion. Salford went 6-1 up into this. Here's a roundup of yesterday's action.
Your year of 2024 Varsity winners is...
Salford won, sorry about that, but Salford's women's run 55-19 in the rugby union, with Chester's men winning 34-20 and Salford winning 17-66 in the rugby league. Salford's men's and women's both won their games in hockey, and Chester taking place in American football. Chester took the points in that as well. In tennis and softball, winning margins 7-5, 7-5-1 in the rounders, and Salford winning in the rowing, swing and frisbee. With all the results, the scores were ready to be announced.
Can I have everyone's attention, please? We all want to thank you on Varsity this year of 2024. Thank you to all the players, spectators who came today. We've seen some amazing matches, we've seen some amazing results, but unfortunately in Varsity there can only be one winner. Of a score of 18-11, your year of 2024 Varsity winners is... Salford!
Well, I'm joined with Josh Khan and Bella Francis, who both took part in Salford's win in Varsity. Josh, I'll start with you. You competed in Chester yesterday in swimming. You got the point for swimming. How did it feel to get the win?
Oh, it's great to get the win for the uni. It got off to a funny start actually, because we had a really strong men's swimming team and our women's team wasn't as good as theirs. So for every men's race we'd get 1 point up on them, and then the women would claw back. So then it went down to a relay, the last event of the swimming competition, and it was a men's and women's relay combined. So it was whoever won that race was going to win the overall swimming points for the uni. And it got down to the last length, and it wasn't me who clawed the points on that last length, but it was a good friend of mine, And yeah, we managed to come away with a win, which was good.
And Bella, you took place last week in Varsity 2's, winning 7-1 in the women's football. Obviously, the women's first team also lost 7-1, but you got your part of the bargain done.
Yeah, no, very much so. It was a brilliant win. I think everyone knows that the second team haven't had the best season. We actually haven't won a game all season, but we really put all of our energy into varsity, and it was so good, especially for the third years who are having their last varsity this year, to come away with not just a victory, but such a massive victory. And then Salford winning overall yesterday at Chester was just the cherry on top of the cake.
Well, obviously Salford retained the trophy, but you're both second years. One more varsity. Do you think you could bring it home in 2025?
I reckon so.
I think it's just a given at this point that we just stump Chester year in, year out. So I'm sure we'll do it again next year, of course.
Yeah, Chester are awful. Salford on top, always.
Well, there you go. That's the opinion from Bella Francis and Josh Can, who both took part in this year's varsity, which Salford won 18-11. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Dan. What an amazing achievement for Salford. That's all we have time for in our programme today. I've been Mikołaj Maćkowiak.
And I've been Sydney Shaw. We'll be back after the Easter break, so we'll see you then.